guys, how's it going? We got a full departure yard and we're gonna take care of it tonight. What we got here? July 29th, 8:48 p.m. And yeah, we were busy doing some humping and trimming last night, and I wasn't too sure how much time I was going to have tonight. I actually had a 2-hour nap on the couch, but I got some engines here. Make sure that that's set up here. North 2, I'll put the green light on. Hey, mic's on! Hey! Thought you were at darts? Darts, is it? Or pool? Never mind. Darts. I don't know why I was thinking darts for some reason. But anyways. Yeah, normally I'm with my son. We leave tomorrow morning. Well, that's dang. Well, that changes. That could potentially change a few things here. Where are we at? Okay. Well, we got 8:48 right now. Maybe I should check the matrix out and see where we're at. That got all humped. We're not too bad, actually. We only got one other, no, two. But they're not there yet, so I think Barstow's fine. So this is a good one. Yeah, that's right. Ohio leaving at 9 a.m. or so tomorrow. Heading to Fostoria. Okay. Come watch the live stream. If you want. If you want. So, yeah, so we were talking last night with Barstow. One of the things here, you'll see the string of cars right there. And I was trimming last night, and it's for Temple. And I had no place else left to put them because the yard got full. So, didn't somebody build something today? I thought I saw something in there. Oh, it's released. Okay, North Departure 2. Awesome. So we got that going. We got a lot in standby. I'm going to go through this whole process. So the goal, more or less tonight, was that I'm going to get through these standby trains, how we do it. I'm actually going to plug another website that I personally use, and then I'll go through that. You know, give them props for, you know, some of the services that they provide the community. 3, 4, 5. So we got 7 trains in standby. We got 3 from the last cycle. That's why they're still showing standby, because there were 4 standbys. Okay, Mike's gonna watch the stream here. So when you look at that, I mean, looking at Barstow, sometimes you don't see what's happening here. Now, I do have, there is stuff in the bowl. Normally we'd like to get a build over, but because it was released back at 1800, we do have 44 cars in South 2. This is the latest train we got, since we're at almost 6 a.m. now. And I don't intend to run any time off Barstow. We got 15 minutes. I'm not even going to bother. We got like one release, and we'll let the weekend go and see what happens there. So that I can resolve that comment there. I think we're okay for the build. I assume we are. Let me just take a look at that just to be on the safe side. There was one release. Let's see if we got enough power for it. North 2. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I saw him over here. So when you're finding, it's only got 2 engines, so that should be okay, depending upon what it is. You don't want it to have overpowered. Yeah, 2.6 is fine. So that makes it over the 1.5 threshold. That's perfect. I turn that green signal on. I just do it. It's not a big deal. I mean, the green lights here are kind of irrelevant. What can be used as a yard master, if you for whatever reason, if you're trying to hold a track, you can put the blue light on. I'm holding down the right mouse button right now, so it just went right. It just went white, and that's over and receiving 10. So I'll just show you what that looks like. And I know this probably looks horrible on the live stream when I'm moving around like crazy. But I just wanted to show you. Maybe I should have done it in the departure yard. So you can see there, somebody made a comment about this the other day. They thought it was funny. They thought there were signals in the ground. And I had to explain to them what the heck that's all about. So just in case you guys were never aware of what these actually mean, you have the switch points in Barstow, which also look like signals. So when you flick a switch through the dispatch panel, you can see it goes yellow. Yellow's for reverse, just like a yellow target on a switch stand, and then green is for normal. These here are track, I forget what they're called. They're not I guess they're called occupancy indicators. I'm not positive on that one. But what normally happens is 10's open. So I'm going to put it back. Whether it's red or green doesn't matter. It goes out. So that track's clear. The light goes out. That means it can be used. When it goes yellow, like for example 9, 8, and 7, you will see yellow lights. So that just lets the yard crews remind them that there are... I think I've only seen it in Southern California in videos. I don't know if they're in other locations in the BNSF UP networks. UP, I know I've seen it in videos. I don't think I've seen one in BNSF, but I assume it's the same. And I'm not from that area, so I really don't know. And I haven't seen it anywhere else, but I could be wrong about that. Whether it's a green light, it really doesn't matter. The green and red doesn't do anything. Ditto with that. So that's all about the occupancy lights, and the whole thing with the blue flag. When you hold down the right mouse button on the signal, that does the same thing for up here for signals. If you want to return to your train, it'll give you a restricting signal. So that's what that's all about. So for dispatching on the main line, it's a restricting. That gives you your restricting indication. In the yards, the blue light means you're not supposed to go in it unless you have authority by a yard master or whoever's in charge of that track, be it a road foreman or whatever. We don't do the repairs, so we used to use it for storage if we were holding different cars. So if we ran out of total room, we'd probably use one of those tracks. I'm going to fly, and this is going to look like crap again, but ow. I guess I'll get over here. Everything's built on this side, so it's easier to get. It's easier to be over here. Of course, I got my loud trim power just sitting there too, which probably doesn't help, but that's okay. So yeah, let's start. First of all, let's get ourselves prepared. The website I'm going to plug is the Run8 Studios, Run8 Depot website. And I want to plug this site. First of all, let me just say I'm not on their forums. I've had some issues, per se, with some of the information, or some of, not the information. The information's awesome. Some of the quote-unquote staff or whatever. And just basically, I usually don't stand down for those things. I'll just, if I feel something's being unfair or if I'm being treated unfairly, I'm gonna let them know, and I'm not afraid. And then eventually, I just said, well, you're not gonna do this, or if you're gonna be this way, I leave. but I still want to plug them anyways. So they have public servers. They have their own forums. They have a Depot Plus, which is, I think, more of an operation thing. And then they have updated news. They always have updated news. One of the biggest things I think that are valuable for anybody in Run8 is Nolatron, who's the owner of the depot, having his maps. They are always being updated. Where the heck is it? Maps, yes. So he's got every line in there. And you go into these, I use them all the time. If I'm out on main lines, it's a huge resource. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with that already, and some of you may have been on the servers, etc., etc. But it is a huge reference. It's one of the best places to get content, and I mean it's rightfully up there. I mean, between that and the external dispatcher, I can't think, or I'll toot my own horn, I guess, for my own purposes. I would put myself maybe rank at third as far as usefulness, because RTS is not for everybody as far as the car forwarding goes, but everybody should have the maps. I mean, everybody should have it if they want to operate at prototypical speeds and know what's coming. And then if they're into realistic signaling, they always want to have the external dispatcher. Now I believe he hosts the download for the external dispatcher. Unfortunately, it's not been updated in some time, but that's probably, like I said, if you're going to put the top 3 resources, I'd say that's number 2 versus the actual maps. And then if you're into car forwarding, I'll put myself at number 3. So I wanted to say that. But there's other information here. Now I could program this easy. I can get a spreadsheet open, but I prefer to go into a nice interface and not have to open up sheets. I'd rather use what I think is probably one of the easier ways of doing it, and that is just go into the engine calculator. And we use this engine calculator because we know from here what we're looking at as far as how much engines we need to build on certain tracks. And Mike's around tonight, so I don't know. We should be able to show some. I don't know how much time I'm going to be spending. I don't know if I'm going to spend more than another hour tonight. But I'm thinking of routing some maps and everything. So, okay, let's start off we'll go with the Vancouver train, Vancouver, Washington. I'll start. I won't go by. I'll go by where we're at now. It should be 44 cars. If the numbers changed, it doesn't matter. So Vancouver, Washington is in South Track 2. So that would be over here. And you click on that, and you can see up ahead at the top. And you got to do a Shift Z to get that information. You got to scroll through that. Actually, it's what's the letter? I know how to type. I just can't remember when I actually do it. Oh, X. Okay. So, well, that doesn't seem right either. Okay. It's a V. It's a little crazy. Z gets you through a bunch of them, and then then V. So you get Shift Z to get it on, and then you can turn various ones on and off. Z goes through a bunch of them, but it doesn't. Yeah. Oh, I guess you can go right to Shift V. Okay. I'm always fiddling around that area anyways. I do Shift Z. It used to be all in Shift Z, I think. So Shift V, I guess it is. So it does say 44 cars, but the thing you're looking for there is the tonnage, your 5653. I always scroll up. If you're a Yardmaster, that is. This is all for Yardmaster access. But I am going to show you what, if you're here and you're not a Yardmaster and you're looking to potentially build a train, this is what you need to look for. So 5653, it's 44 cars. So there indeed is the 44 cars. I'm deleting that We haven't updated the counts, but I'm deleting that now because that's no longer relevant at this point. 5653 is the current train weight. Whoops. 5653 is the current train weight. So, you got to know the minimums. If you're heading eastbound, it's 1.5 down Needles. Westbound, you want 2.2 heading up. 2.2 heading up through Mojave. Going through Cajon is it's a crapshoot. I've never found a minimum never, but 2.2 or 2.4ish is usually pretty good. There's also on those maps going back to the depot site. They will show you in the map for the Cajon sub. They'll show you. They'll actually show you some limitations you have on speed based on what the weight of your train is, etc. So I'm going to get that one out of there for now. I've posted that just to save some resources. So in that case, because we're going Vancouver, the other thing too is the color codes here for these particular ones. Think of purple as the LA Lakers, and that's why I use that color. Purple is anything that's colored the train purple means it's headed towards LA. The orange, it's heading out. It's heading out down to the sun. Down to more sunshine states, I guess. Or heading across the country, Kansas City. It's actually heading east, but it's kind of weird. It always looks to me like it's heading towards Arizona first or whatever. So it's heading down to Needle Sub. So I always use the orange color for those. Blue is heading north, although it's not really cold so much, but it's heading north along the Mojave sub. The cyans are locals: Boron, Victorville, Cadiz, and then the question mark over here is a bunch of different things that goes into the local yard, etc. So that's what that's all about. So yeah. So as I was saying, so to determine what that train is actually headed, well, we know that that's heading north, so onto Mojave sub. So when you do that, you just put in 2.2 as your desired HPT. That's your minimum. You put that in, and it'll say it needs 2.8 ES44s. So from there, what you can do is I usually like to put it in here. So I resolve that issue. As a yard master, I resolve issues once they're released. And they're not issues. I guess they're resolved comments, so it's not resolving an issue. It's resolving a situation. So for here, what I do is I right mouse click over. Crap. Right mouse. Why is it doing that? It's like going through a whole thing. This is what happens with the resources. It gets a little goofy. Let's see if it does it again. Yeah, see? I had to close the simulator or minimize it. So for here, all I say here is it needs 3 ES. Caps were on. I don't know if that meant anything. So 3 ES44s. I think I was supposed to put it there. Okay, well, I'll resolve that. Doesn't matter where it is, as long as people can see it. Just 3 ES44s required. And so what happens there, so we go into the form, and you can always go to the registry right from form, go live form like this. Now this is only if you're a yard master, and it'll explain that in a minute. Whoops, what train are we here? If you're not too sure what train you are, you just click over the reference and you'll see what the calculation is calling for. It's H bar VA 1. So H bar VA 1. Just hit B for, well, it gets brake first, so you want to. We have a brake? Oh yeah. I was like, what's that? Okay. I don't remember putting that in there. Great. I think that was something we were... I don't think anybody's used that. I don't even know why it's in there. It can be... It don't matter. Whatever. So, yeah, for that now, you want to go... not like when you're switching, you're actually into the route because you're dealing with the trains. When you're dealing with the trains, you want to go Barstow Yermo route. If you were dealing in the yard, like working the hump or trim, and I mean, yeah, you're in the yard, but you're dealing with putting an actual status on a train. So in that case, you have to go Barstow Yermo route to deal with that. If you were dealing with switchers and available time, by the way, too, hump crew and trim crew has nothing to do with the hostler crews. So if you're concerned about using time or anything like that, don't worry about it, because hostlers are around all the time to do various jobs in the yard, and they just basically run power. So Barstow Yermo route, got H-bar vol 1, and I already got the build on. I think we're in north departure, no, not north departure, south departure 2, yeah. I was going to say north departure doesn't make sense. And I know that's how I was talking the other night too about this, is it's kind of weird that a northbound train's in the south departure yard, but that's just so that the north yard has access going east. So track 2 and submit, and then you will see, once this thinks, you know, I had to move that, you will see this is starting to recalculate. Right now it's on standby. And it's still thinking, because there's a lot of calculation going on. I wanted to show you this part, but normally you just do it and then you go on to the next. But we can see Temple's on a standby. That doesn't sound right. What? Okay, hang on a second here. Temple's already on a standby? I'm totally confused now. Well, I guess that's something we'll have to move over, but there, you see it's gotten over to build. I'm just like, why is Temple on a standby? Oh, that's from last cycle. We never actually, well, that's why we had so many cars going over there. What you want, the other thing too, is you can take a look. 15, 17, you can go along and see what's average. 21, 24, 28. Yeah, there's usually 31 cars, and sure enough, that's a train. I can't put a build on it right now because it's not in the departure track. So we got one release train. I'm not worried about it right now. I'm just going to leave that on standby, but that's another thing for a yard master can do maybe on the weekend. Let's see here. Yep. Yeah, it just confused me because I saw such a low number. I was looking at the number there, and it just like totally threw me off. So once I saw that low number, I was thinking that train hasn't left yet, and we're already at 6 a.m. But it was supposed to leave at 11:15. So in theory, that probably should have been in a departure already, but for whatever reason, it wasn't. West Colton, I'm looking at next. I believe it's ready to go as is. I know there's still some cars, but I'm going to look. We got local yard 2. I think it's got 26 cars. You can run trains out of the local yard. You could probably, you know, the way that length is, I'm beginning to wonder if we should start running Temple out of local yards. It's just the only thing we've ever done is 114. We do run some trains out of local yards, such as Cadiz or Old Yard potentially, but I'm going to go over to the local yard now. Temple's already out of the way. I suppose it could be. No, it can't because I got my trim engines in the way. If I parked them where I normally parked them, then we probably could have got engines in around. And of course, we're blocking that whole area for getting anything around. Holy crap, did all that boron stuff go down the old yard the other night? I didn't even think you guys did that. Right on. Well, that's cool. I didn't even notice that the other night. I thought I had like 2 tracks full still. Holy crap. Wow, we're actually in better shape than I thought we were. Okay. So that should be all West Colton. I'm going to double check. Okay, another trick too. Notice I can't click onto this right now, and the reason why is I'm still acquired. You can go find it, or there's another way. If you go over to the other tab, you can relinquish my train. So now I can hit on the West Colton, and I believe everything... Oh, okay. There's 2 strings here. So that's okay. So we just have to do some quick math. So you got 1630. And they should be all West Colton too. Should be. Looks like it is. Yeah. Alright. 1630. So 1630, that's 4678. I'll relinquish that. 4678. I scroll up so I'm not hitting a 4678. Yeah, I think that's what I said. So right back on that same page. I'll try 2.2. It's called for 3. It's going to be 3. Even if I went up to 2.4, yeah, we're fine. So that's another 3 units. Now, when you're dealing with West Colton, generally you're looking at trying to find the UP power or anything that is... I'm just going to go over here. We generally save the UP power for West Colton. So if there's excess of it around, we send it anyways. Just run it as light. Okay, those are the switchers. Yeah. Switchers, ES44s, and there's a whole string of wonderful engines here. So, of course, you'd take these engines first, or if you can, because they shouldn't even be there. Probably some light power that we need to get rid of. So, but for now, we'll see how things go once we start building. 4678, okay, yeah, we're in, so that's L2. Go back to this. And then the number there, I'll take that off. And yeah, we got some in the old yard, that's okay. And there's who knows where else, but we got to get that train out of there if we can. So, oh, I'm already in the live form. So, you can just go back to it, submit another response. And again, Barstow, no, I went, not Barstow, huh? I'm so used to going that way. Where are we here? Oh yeah. M-bar WCL1. Do I got 2 of them open? Jeez. B for build. We're on the Barstow-Yermo route. Next, you're typing L for local yard. And it's local track 2. I won't even show you, close this off for a second. I won't even bother showing you, or waiting for it to show up here. I'm going to go to the next one. But it might do it while we're sitting here. That's deleted, that's released. So that's in build. So, if you're not too sure what the time is, actually just go Barstow main and you can see the builds are starting to show up now. Temple still on, it's going to be on standby. You can always go through this way, but I like to go in to just make sure that the comments are in there. That's what I was supposed to do. Once again, hey, it's letting me do it this time. 3 ES44s required. And so now we got comments on both of them. So the whole idea of the comments is so that anybody who sees a build can go into the matrix and see a comment to say, okay, this is what we need. Now, the reason why you don't see standby showing up here is, I'll explain that. These standbys are calculated, whereas these ones, or the ones that are left, were manually entered through the registry. So this is an automatic calculation that's showing, like, once it hits a certain time, it'll actually show it. So we got 4 left that we can deal with right now. Boron we can't deal with yet. I know that that's going to take a little bit more work, so that's probably not going to be heading out till at least, I don't know. It depends what who's around on the weekend, if Tony's around or whatever, if they can find the cars or tagging or whatever. If not, we'll deal with it Tuesday. So barbell just got set up there. You also want to see, you know, if you do really have enough cars available. So H bar gal 9, we're looking at right here. Yeah. Yeah, now this is getting a little crazy because there's a lot of trimming that I needed to do. I just saw a good bit of departing. Okay, so one train's leaving right now. Unfortunately, these trains really need access. We got a couple at least, so that's a start. I'm just looking. Those particular trains, the issue we have right now is the trims. The trims were busy doing whatever. Did we actually move them, I wonder? Hang on. Because these counts might not be updated. So let me double check. Actually, the counts aren't updated from the hump. So let me see what's going on in North 1 and then South 4. See what's going on. Because I thought I moved something. Got a departure. North 1's at 39, which probably isn't going to be enough to justify it. Well, again, what I do is I normally see how many cars go on average. 6. No way. I'd hold off on that one. I think Los Angeles might be one that could go down in South 4. I think I added to it. $35. That don't sound right either. No, I wouldn't build those. We used to have it so that as long as the, because technically that's a trim function, and they didn't get around to trimming it, so they're behind in that. So we got the 2, which is okay. It's at least it's a start. It gets us out of the last cycle. It means we're still running behind. Boron, Victorville's another one. So there's a lot of stuff that still has to be done to get caught up. Looking at the time, actually, yeah, it don't matter. What are we at? We're at 6:26. What about the other one? There was one more that just popped up. Barstow, Maine. Oh, okay. Now this gets interesting. Barbell. Oh, they're all in the belt. What? They're all in the 35 cars are in the bowl. That's it. Oh, okay. That makes sense because that goes twice. So there's your 35 right there. You duplicate that. So. Again, that could be moved over. So I'm going to just focus on those 2. And actually, I'll show you the trick. There's a couple tricks here. I wonder if Mikey wants to build it. Do you want to do it, Mike? I'll check with him. Would you want to build those 2 trains? Actually, I can do one and you can do the other if you want. I'm not too sure if he's busy right now or whatever. Oh. So that frees up one track, which is kind of tempting because I really want to get Temple out of there. And of course I can't because I got the trims in the way. Alrighty. 3 units each. Alright, so we know we need 3 units each. So both those trains don't need the DPUs. Both of them are heading west or north. So let's see what we got here. I didn't see any other. If we get lucky, which we probably won't, but okay. How about I take out the 6 units to the bridge, and then we'll split it from there. So when you have this many engines, what'll happen is if you do an auto start, you're gonna be going like crazy. So in this case, you do have some symbols, which is great. I got the rockets running down the streets here, or whatever the heck they call them. And as soon as I clicked on it, it just MU'd everything. This is why I don't like having all these engines lined up like this. I mean, I know there's no room, but it immediately... okay, so what I like to do, instead of doing the auto start, I like to go with the start-stop diesel. Just because there's so many engines. Let's see what I'm dealing with here. I'm just taking the tags out. Ones that, which is fine. They should be definitely should be going with tags there. So the reason why I chose these 3 is we're both heading west out of here. One's heading west, one's heading north, but they all hit that direction. So that gives you your 3 leaders right there. So I want to close the angle cock on this one. Open the coupler. MU disconnect because we've MU'd all of them. I'm not too sure if we're set up for anything else other than that. Yeah, the MU's already on. So in this case, I want to... It's in run. Everything else is in run. We should be okay now, I think. Yeah, I'll deal with that in a minute. Let me just make sure I'm okay. Yeah, PCS is open. Hang on a second here. Going the wrong way. Well, the angle cocks, I don't know why. Let me... That's a pain. So, if you ever get into an emergency and the PCS goes on, this is how you fix this too. So it tells you what to do with these. The SDs, it doesn't show you too much. So it says move, this is in the comments, this is in this little screen right here. Move train handle to emergency. So I put it in emergency. It starts doing a countdown timer. So while it's doing that, I throw it in neutral. I can keep the independent brakes on, that's fine. And then it says set reverse to neutral and move train brake to release. Okay. That red light there was the oh, okay. You gotta set the breakers the old way on these. I forgot about that. Haven't done that in so long. We're already in run, I knew that. Alright, let's see if we can get moving there. I hear power. There we go. Wow, I haven't run one of these big engines in so long. That's crazy. This used to be the only type of engines available in Run8 at one time. We used to use these for switching, you name it. So what's going to happen is we're going up to the bridge here. I'm going up to the bridge, and then not that I need it really, but that's to make sure I got the light on. Oh yeah, and to check my switch coming out. I'm coming out of the facility here, and then we'll figure out what's going on from there. You want to stay below 10 miles an hour going over manual switches. I don't always do that because I'm yapping or not paying attention, but at least this gets another 2 trains out and available. And there's other trains available in other locations, but that light to go on, just hit short hood trail, but that is going to mean nothing in a minute. So I'm going to pull out past that next crossover, and then we're going to separate this and go our separate ways here. Coming up to the signal, I want to go to the other side actually. So now what'll happen is I'll still have control of the rear train. Mike's going to require this one once I become detached from it, I should say, not disattached. So I want to close my angle cock here. Might as well close the other one while I'm at it. Want to open the coupler, MU disconnect. just get enough out of the way so. Okay, but tight tonight. Needles yard entry. What? Needles yard entry. I thought he was talking about Barstow with my engines sitting in the way. Ah, I see. Okay. So there's Mike's. So I just checking to see what Mike, which engine he's going for. I don't think I've ever done this before. I don't recall bringing engines out and then watching somebody else take them off, so it's kind of cool. Actually, while he does that, we'll watch that and then I'll... So I'm going to give him some more room just in case he needs it. Okay, I'm going to get a drink and see if I can find some food. On your way. There he goes. So I'm just going to check the yard board, see where he's lining himself. He's going up 11. So what I'll do, well, he might have a fun way of getting up there. I think he's going for the departure yard. If not, I gotta follow him up that way. I might follow him that way anyways. I'll just follow him. Whoops. Hope I go the right way. Alright, fine. I didn't eat enough tonight. Had a good lunch. So I believe I'm on a 20 limit here. Of course, I gotta make sure I can stop half the distance of seeing Mike ahead of me. I could have took my own track in. If he was going to West Colton, or if he wasn't going to West Colton, he was going to the departure yard, I could have gone down 10 or something like that. But oops, I need the speed limit here. So yeah, that's definitely one thing you can do, even by yourself, is you can take a whole whack of engines. It sometimes loses its mind like we were doing. That's why I started them all individually, but as soon as I acquired it, it dumped the air or whatever the heck it thought it was doing. See all the old symbols, which is fine, just to have the old symbols there. We were gonna do something. Oops, I better watch what I'm doing. Like Grandpa in front of me here. Or he's not sure where he's going. All right. I think he's headed over to the departure yards. Crap, do you have an, I don't know if he has a facing engine on the other side. Oh, there he goes, he's going that way. Looks like he has a facing engine. I never thought of that. He's got that balloon. Yeah, he looks fine. So yeah, like when there's multiple builds up, then including when you got DPUs, it's nice to take a whole string of them. Okay, so he's definitely going, I was gonna say that away. I gotta check to see what the switches are looking like up ahead. I prefer to, I'm gonna take the tunnel. He's got more switches to throw. I'm fortunate, I just have to make sure the switches are normal, and he's got a few switches to throw before he can even get into. So he's going into the that Vancouver, is it Vancouver train? I think it is. Over into the south departure yard. He's out there throwing some of the manual switches. I find it odd that this is a 20-mile-an-hour limit with all these manual switches on it. There's a few 10s in here, but it's not on this track apparently. Down to 10 for those. Any manual switch I reverse, I go down to 10 regardless. So now that that's lit, I know I can go here and into the tunnel, into the local yard. I'm going to change my change my speed setting. Whoops. Too fast. The tunnel will start taking off on me. Here it's not so bad. So I'll do some dynamic once I get under. And throw some switches. So yeah, this is if you ever want to get an introductory thing into working a yard, this is one of the first ones besides humping a train that's actually pretty good now. From the Aamins standpoint or the yardmaster standpoint, they're dealing with what we did, like setting up the sheets and everything. That's the whole yardmaster access thing, is being able to set a game plan and the sheets and everything. So I'm going to have to throw this switch here, which I can leave. It's kind of weird. It comes out the one way and then it... So you got the one reverse and then it comes back on. I think that's what has access to the other receiving tracks, but... the hump engines standing by on the other track there. They are. So sometimes with a build, you just got to make sure. What I normally do as part of the build is I put the EOTs on. So I make sure I have the entire end of the train before I release it. The cool thing about one of the latest updates for the Run8 is that it allowed you to put EOTs on. a mainline train can certainly depart from local yard. That's not a problem. He can also depart from the receiving yard as well. I'm going to leave it in local yard tonight. Catching up to me or something? I hear horns. I'm on the wrong side to look. Oh yeah. I thought he was trying to get my attention. Couldn't see from the other side. The engine was blocking me. So there's one of your yellow pots there. So track 2. Let's see how I have to use dynamics. Then you got a little bit of a climb, and then there's a bit of a crest up here. This is a place where I like, I've seen some of my previous videos. This is a place where if I have a huge string from 114, I like to come down here and sort it. And I totally didn't realize that local yard's actually in pretty good shape. At least there's cars down in the boron area. I don't know what that looks like. I'll take a quick look down there. See, we got a few cars. There's Mike. He's just cruising right now. Some cars are overflowing in the hump, but that's all controlled. We knew about those, so that's okay. We knew we were going to go about 1 over. In at least 2 tracks, I think. Wow, I can't get up on notch 1. Departure yard over there. Oops, I'm going too fast. I knew it humped. At first I wasn't doing it. I thought, oh, maybe it's a lot more gentle than I thought it was. Now, for the sake of argument, I'm going to assume that I got a guy who's had a cab ride down to the other end. I try to think ahead of times of stuff like that, if somebody would be doing that or not. Normally that wouldn't be an issue, but so I'm going to go to the brake and start moving forward. I don't know if that's going to put air in right away. It shouldn't, because that's closed. So if that's the case, then I'm going to bleed the air until I get over to the other side. So I just hit Control F12 to get me to the other side. Hear that I'm a ways away from the engine now. So usually once I'm all together, I do a bit of an air test, make sure everything's okay. Pull ahead just a tiny bit. We'll do that in a minute. I'm using the independent right now. Jump off. Hit Control F7 again. So now it's a matter of finding out where. See, this one I want to open. Want to open the angle cock on that one. Come down to the end, wrong end. Make sure that's closed. Then I'm going to click onto that. Now there's ways of auto doing this. I prefer not to use the auto unless I'm starting up a train, but so there's the OT. Now I'm going back into the cab. So the parking brake's back on. It says the OT is moving. So what I want to do now is I'm going back to that little menu right there. Okay. And I want to head out here for a minute. This I usually end up dumping the air on. That's a bit of a pain. But you got to be patient on this. What you want to do, because that's totally open, you want to partially open it, because if you let all the air out, you'll dump the air. So to start filling the air back up, you want to partially open it. Then I go back into the cab for a second, just so you don't actually have to. Flows up there. I'm looking at that rear number. The rear is getting air, so that's good. If the rear wasn't getting any air, and what I mean by the rear is that rear 6, if the rear wasn't getting any air, then in that case I'd have to go search the couplers and find out what's going on. Let me shift Z. There we go. That doesn't really tell me anything. So the flow is starting to come down. I always find the trick is to when to actually open it up, because it should be like a real gradual, not open gradually then open fully. So I'm going to try to open it. It might dump it. If it dumps it, it's no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead with open. And I dumped it. You can hear that noise. So I probably waited too long. I think I had to get the flow down further. But that's okay. So we go back in. I haven't learned the trick of that. Maybe Mike can tell me if there's a little trick I'm missing. I don't do this very often. So once again, if you dump the air, it's not a big deal. Braking couplers is the same thing. It's not a big deal. It can all be fixed. So Once again, you hit an emergency. So I guess I need to be a bit more patient. I think one of the tricks I had to learn about this is to be very patient. So, oh, gotta put that in neutral. And you can see that flow is like way up to 159 right now. Wow. I guess I need to hold on to the independent brake a little bit. I'm thinking of the other engine. Where's my, I need my different screens on here. That's not what I want, is it? Man, I can't believe how stupid I feel right now. Okay, there's the rear. I knew it. I was like, where the hell's the rear? Like, there it is right there, looking right at me. So yeah, it starts coming back. So the rear is coming. You want it to get up to 90. I could probably move on this. In fact, yeah, there it goes right there. So what I'll do is I'll give it one notch of forward power just to stabilize it. Take a look there. Does it need a second notch? Holy crap. Oh, there it goes. It's stabilizing now. That's just slack, actually. I don't want it to go back any further because of the switch, so that's why I was checking back here, make sure everything's okay. So I could probably give it just another notch here. And I do have forward motion, so everything's good. So there's a couple other things that you got to do before the build's complete. And this, you know, this seems all technical and all that once you get used to it. I haven't done this in a while, and it was kind of a learning process for me. It's been a long time since I've actually built a train. I was kind of looking over here for my my SD40 or GP40's got the meter for the back of the train. I was like, where is it? It's not there. I know it's on this thing somewhere. But I haven't been in these big units for so long, so we're almost at 90 at the back now. It's at 67. Give us enough time just to get up to the other end. So while it's slowly getting up there, I'll put it back down to notch 1 because I don't want to go too fast. I'm going back to the screen for a minute. Once again, the name of the train is, go over to the build, it's M-bar WCL1. So what you can do is I can put 4 here, whoops. Actually, I got it notched down on the throttle. So you just click on this, and in the train symbol, just the first unit only. There you can see I'm typing it in, and there it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the independents on. That should stop me. Might roll back a bit, but that's okay. So you keep the EOT on, click on that, just you can leave the dim lights on so it's ready for departure, so it's released. And then relinquish. Lights will stay on, everything else should be fine. And you want to go back into the registry. First of all, and he's released his too, so he's already done, he beat me to it. So I'll resolve that. I'll go ahead and resolve that one. And what you do is, okay, depot can be closed now. We don't have anything else there for tonight. So you go to here, train, M bar. Whoops. I was trying to type it in, but it didn't work. Okay. WCL1. And in here you're putting released. And again, this is only, actually, sorry. If there's a build authorized, you don't have to be a yard master. If there's a build and you want to do that, you basically make a forum post. We didn't make one. I suppose we should have, but I don't think Mike did, and I don't think I did. But normally, if you're not a yard master and min, post a message just to let everybody know what's going on. And I didn't think of that tonight, to be honest. So Barstow route again. Status is now released. And I am in the local yard. Track 2 still. Okay, and that's done. I can close off this registry here. And it's thinking, I'll go to the Barstow main just to show you the trains that, Bar KCK was a train that was sitting in North Departure 2 earlier. He's departed and he's on his way out east. There we go, that just went to release. Bar West Colton local yard, and then South Departure 2 has the Barva. Another thing too, if you take these trains, you want to keep an eye open. Just don't assume everything is no work, it's just a run. Always take a look at the work column, because, for example, if you take that Barva, there's work at Bakersfield. That doesn't mean, now if you don't want to do work at Bakersfield, there's plenty of sidings to throw that train into ahead of time. So doesn't mean you have to go to Bakersfield to work, but that's just something that needs to be done, because I know there's been a couple issues where we've had trains recently that have not done their pickup or pickup having to do with that Barva train, and they wind up coming all the way down, and then they to Barstow to get rehumped onto to Va, where they can just basically be taken. So there's definitely stuff there, especially going that way. Coming here, I think the one that's being missed is the Va bar. Instead of setting off the local stuff, it ends up coming all the way here, and then we just have to end up sending it back out on back bar, so it doesn't get to the customer as quick as it needs to. But so yeah, there's the fun stuff with the bull there from the other night. I knew there was at least one overflow. We were looking at a second one. Yeah, that's a second overflow right there. I knew there was 2, or there should have been 2. So Mike's all set up on that end. Was there anything else pressing, Mike? So I'm just wondering if there was anything. We got Temple over there, but of course that, in theory, what we just did right there doesn't run on time again. They're hostlers. I don't know how many there are, but we don't time them. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that's about it. So, and then, what is it, number 2, I usually put a green light on. No big deal. If it's on, off, it really doesn't matter. Just, it's kind of like a visual for me, just so I can see that, oh, okay, there's a train. I don't have one for local yard, unfortunately. I'm going to work on getting Bakersfield. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool, I might do some preparing for my trip tomorrow. Not sure yet. Yeah, Boron's going to be the next adventure, and that's going to be a Barstow thing. Let me just, while we're still here, I'll take a look at what's going on. Once West Colton leaves, that opens up another track in local yard. We already got 2 open up, which is awesome. Because there's your Bakersfield stuff right here. So we're good with that. This was the string of cars. Now, there is some West Colton in there, I think. Yeah, there's a couple right there. Got some Victorvilles to sort out. Yeah, there's a few West Coltons, actually. That's okay, I mean, you know, if they're a little behind, it's no big deal. Yeah, I think I might too. Yeah, I think I might be taking off myself. I'm not sure yet. I might stay around if I can think of something. So yeah, this what the next one we're talking about, Boron. Boron was due at 0500. It's going to be running late today, which means Cadiz is going to run late. So there's some Boron cars. We don't necessarily need all of them, but we'll get. That's kind of. I don't think I'm gonna bother with a live stream for that. Maybe the actual Boron local. Maybe, I don't know. Because that's the other thing too. The Boron, we have an extra crew, and that's something I haven't got into yet. But just showing you the Barstow side here. I'll go back to Barstow. Normally that doesn't kick in until, if I'm looking over at the Barstow time, you can see the time that we used in it. Normally that doesn't kick in until 8 o'clock, and the reason why that is that's the time he usually comes back at. So he's actually, it sounds as if Cadiz may not be delayed, but right now Boron is, and judging by the dates on that, we are here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're getting right into when he would normally be coming back. It'll be like 0800, so it's going to be like a 3-hour delay. Which could restrict our time. What happens is, and the reason why we give time for Barstow for this guy here, in between now and noon, or I shouldn't say now or noon, 8 o'clock and noon, is because what we do there is, in theory anyways, this is totally theory at this point, what we end up doing is we get the one crew that actually plays Boron, but then he has a lot of available time. So we get him to be a third crew in Barstow. And from what I can see, at least at this point, that won't begin until once he's back, or whenever that's supposed to be. The problem is we use the same power as Boron we do as Cadiz, so normally the 4 engines should always be together. And I don't think they are right now. I think they all of a sudden got all merged or something. I don't know what happened, but this is probably looking horrible again as usual with the streaming. But trust me, it's very smooth in the actual videos, or the actual simulator if you haven't run the simulator. You know, it's nice and crisp and everything. But yeah, I think the power's down here, and I think it just got thrown into here or something. Yeah. So we got the 4 units, so they're just over here. Cadiz local, and it says Cadiz local. Usually I have it Barstow local is what I usually name it. I don't want to click on it because it'll throw off the brakes or whatever. So yeah, the engine facility is definitely pretty filled up. I don't know what's going on in here. We got some set up for maintenance. Supposedly 90-day service. Probably should fill up the whole shop, maybe. I don't even think we have the room. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think what else we got. So we got Victorville. That was another one that was supposed to set off at 5 o'clock. I think the tags were done. We got more than enough... oh, jeez. That's another logistics nightmare we have to deal with. I wouldn't say nightmare, it's just a... we either get an issue where there's not enough empties or there's too many empties. So, in that case, we got way too many empties. So, I'm not going to update this any. This is basically the way it is. What I'll do is... says R10 Tuesday. That's not even right anymore. The last instructions were in there on July 25th. I'll change this around. I'll just put this in here like this. So Yardmaster's instructions. So I'm going to put counts not updated standby. We got 15 minutes. Over the weekend there'll be more. I'll see if there is somebody who has the time, wants to do something. And until then, I'm going to put next instructions. I've already done one of these as well, where we actually go in and do the counts. I don't want to do it tonight. I just don't feel like it. I've done that before, so I came in. We got a couple trains built, so that's better than nothing. So yeah, that's another Yardmaster function. And again, we get into specialties, which is really cool because I can specialize in here. Mike can specialize in here, although you know, I know he's doing a lot in Bakersfield right now, but that's good because he needs to know more than anything. He needs to know all of them, being an owner of the server. So like even myself with all the experience, I mean, tonight I was just like, I was in the ES44 and I was just like, I'm looking around at the controls, I'm not familiar with them. I was like, I'm looking for the screens, I'm looking for my brakes, I'm like, what, you know, I couldn't even see where the rear air was showing. I was just like, then finally I saw it. And of course I dumped the air a couple times too, but so it's all about familiarity and getting used to the way things work. It's all a learning curve, so this is just added stuff, but if you can do the learning curve, then you should be able to do that. I'm just looking at see how else everything going. This is another Yardmaster function, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm looking. I go tab by tab. I start from the beginning. We know we're at 627, and this progresses throughout the night. So it's currently 10:16, which is accurate, which means it just updated. So 627. It's this is the time on the East Coast. I have it right now at 4, but that now will actually change. It's a 4-hour difference, but it actually goes to a 3-hour difference once daylight savings time ends. However, that clock will not change. Our clock will change, but the clock on the server does not change because it stays on standard time, and that's why it's 4 hours difference, even though in actuality it is actually not 6:16, it's 7:16 on the West Coast right now. But that's the actual sky, or that should be the actual sky, what it looks like, where the sun is, etc. So now I'm just going through the tabs to see what's coming up. This was a Friday train, that's why it never showed a release. So we got another release that's come up here. Bakersfield Yard I haven't seen. We're at 120 minutes. I believe there's instructions to start it. I don't know about how the tags have gone. Let me just see if we got that going. Okay, so I don't see any tags. They said something about SJVR1, and I better reply to that. Oh wait, there's some comments here. Okay, that's from before. And what I'll do is I'll make sure Mike's aware, because I thought he said SJVR build or 1 build was ready, but I don't think it is. Until you get you have to tag all the empties, because then you're dealing with a transfer between the 2 yards. So I just don't know if I want to do this tonight. I'm tempted to do the tagging tonight, but at the same time, it's 10:18. Do I really want to go through the tagging? Let's see where we're at here. I as a yard, trying to keep things going, I'm like, yeah, I want to, but do I really want to? I shouldn't say yeah, I want it. No, I don't, because it's a pain, and you know what. But this is where, having as many yard masters available who can also do this, who like doing this, is great. But again, we want to have a fit. We don't want to just have anybody do it. We want to make sure people understand the system, or understand why we do what we do, and get it. They have to get it. If they don't get it, then it can cause more issues than it makes, if you know what I mean. So I'll look at that in a minute here. Mojave, that's going to be history. Not the yard we're going to have our own system there. Barstow switching district. I thought that. Oh, okay. He's got it set here. So what I usually do, I thought something was tagged. Okay, so he's tagged all those. So what I normally do is, once I'm done tagging, I go ahead and I just highlight it green, so you don't even have to see it anymore. We used to do the initials and all that stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't bother. The tags were indeed generated July 25th. I think the loads. See, the problem is there's loads for Cadiz. So that one's really I'm getting that thing out of there. I'll put that date out of there. The replens tag, that's not even being used, because that's only for Victorville and Cadiz. They want 50 next cycle. It hasn't been used. PM counts aren't right. I'm getting those all out of there. Yeah, I'm not even sure. There's no way those dates. For now, I'm just going to go with those dates here. If you guys want to add dates up here for various things, we could do what we could do instead. Let me just see what's going on here. Just bear coming in and out. Okay. So what we can do, and this is just ideas, and this is kind of more of an admin thing. You should be an admin if you're going to be changing any of the structures. So admin, and this is the difference between the admin's authority and the yardmaster's authority. The yardmaster is just basically doing this now. Tony's an admin, so he can do this just like anybody else, plus the owner. What I'm going to do, for the sake of this sheet, what I'll do is I'm going to See, I'm not even too sure of those numbers. So what I'll do is I'm going to put just it was done on July 29th, and it's in cyan, whereas this one's oh wow, and then we got all the borons, which I can see why the instructions are in there too, or having the date or whatever. A lot of these numbers are just totally bogus anymore. I don't even know if we need all those in there other than to have the pictures and to show you what the yards look like, etc. But it's not really high priority stuff. Victorville, what the counts are, and I'm not even too sure if those counts are accurate or not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I know we have too many right now, and then we have like, we used to try to keep an inventory so that we knew where all the empties were, but it's too much. So we got a bunch of standbys. We already know that in Barstow, but now we got a couple of releases at least. So we're almost out into getting most of that. And of course, we already had the Kansas City and the Barwick, which was gone. So that's cool. Already dealt with that. I got to deal with the counts as well. Or we have to deal with the counts as well. West Colton, there's enough people who want to do stuff for it. It's available. So July 31st is coming up. That is in the local yard. It isn't even moved, so it's there. Or it'll be coming. And then that one's available to hump in a couple days, so that's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see, Cajon sub. Well, that's interesting. So, the vehicle train San Bernardino is released. What else we got here? ZLCT. Victorville's on standby, and I believe it needs to. Does it need to stay on standby though? Here's again. This is a Yardmaster question. It's a Monday to Friday train. I think it got it did get tagged if I was seeing right. So let me take a look then. And there's enough cars to warrant it. So I'll go out to Victorville for a minute. See, this is more of a general. Where do we stand? Is there something that needs to be pressing type day? I don't really want to go tagging a whole bunch. I think. Mike's going to be dealing with me. Yeah, we're gonna. Holy crap. So there's your Victorvilles right there. Holy crap. Wow. That went through a lot. So those are our empties. We got our loads in here. Did we have something else? I thought I saw something. Did I see some Phoenix? Oh yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put a build on that. Because it's way past due anyways. At least then we'll get that going. So Victorville's in Victorville Yard. And in that case, what I'll do as well, because I saw it on the I'll put it as a build for now. And then the Cajon route, we're all the way down, not the San Bernardino. I guess we're past here, yeah. Just East Victorville. Of course, it's in multiple tracks, so that ain't gonna do any good. Yard here. I'll leave the registry just in case there's any more I gotta deal with. But in this case here, I saw something about Victorville earlier. I know I think Tony was doing something. Victorville, here we go. Alright. Oh, I even replied to it. I tagged the loads in Victorville for now to the empties. There's 160 still in Victorville. Yeah, so this is a question. So anyways, so for now I've gone ahead and put it to build status. I know we have too many empties into the system right now that need to be addressed. However, for now, I'd go ahead with the build, and then it can be released and run out of Victorville Yard. I think there is just enough room, possibly. I don't know about that one. Let me see about that one. Again, this is a Yardmaster thing, so whoa. How many cars did he say? So this is one of these things where we've got, like I said, we got way too many cars. Ours are 120 and our there's 120? Holy crap. Oh jeez. Oh, we still got 76. Gee, dang. Okay, I'm gonna make an audible on that one. However, for now, I'd like to go ahead with the build. I would pass on picking up the empties. Okay, so that's one of those things with the Yardmaster. What would happen there is somebody would have been doing something. Any normal user, Yardmaster, would have to make a call on it. And in that case, I just made a call on it. I said, you know, we don't have the room. There's the bill going up for East Victorville now. Okay, cool. So we got a lot of other trains released, so we're good for there. San Bernardino. Tony's been doing a lot on here now, so he's been taking a lot of ownership on this yard, which is really cool because it is neat when you get a Yardmaster, and look at the available time. That's perfect. So that's exactly. Did San Bernardino Clo 1 actually depart? When did that happen? Because I thought I saw it was still out there. I thought I saw it still out there. Let me double check on that one. These are manually entered. They're not automated. Let's see. Cajon. I thought I still saw it sticking around somewhere. Oh, that's San Diego. Okay, that's a totally different. That's I was thinking San Bernardino. That's an actual train. So yeah, so it's available too. So lots of trains available for Cajon sub. We're good there. San Bernardino's in. Oh, I want to see San Bernardino, how it looks, because this was a lot. These guys are doing tremendous work. You guys ever want to run a switcher? This is what we call the shuttle train. See, it says shuttle. What that is it goes up here. Here's another thing too. If we're ever really running out of storage, no. I'm thinking we can store a lot of crap down there, or we can always play around this loop here, the coal loop. So there is room, but I really want to fix that whole way too many empties, and this can be expanded big time. There's so much stuff that we haven't added, especially up at Oral Grande and everything. But let me check San Bernardino out for a minute. These guys have been doing pretty cool stuff here. The issue with San Bernardino, and actually, you know, it's in great shape right now. The issue we have with San Bernardino is I don't believe it's actually. I can't say for certain, so I don't want to discredit anybody because I know there's a memory limitations, but it seems to me that it is not nearly as how would you say, as much as there would be. I just want to check out here and make sure everything's okay. So San Bernardino crew's was switching the empties. Oh, there's more loads and then there's empties that came back. Okay, I see. I was just wondering why the engine was on that side. I was just a little concerned with that, but that's okay. It usually goes backwards up the hill, but I think that's fine. I assume it ran around. I don't know. Whatever. You'd have the caboose, and then you'd have it on that end, and then you'd have the engine running around the other way. So yeah, oh, cool. He's got him tagged too. So what happens there is he had all these auto racks, and he basically, not auto racks, intermodal cars, he basically converted them all to empty bear tables, which we got tons of, which is really cool. So he's all set there, and boom. So we're really set for getting our bear tables trains ready. I wonder how the yard looks now. I mean, this part of the yard looks awesome. We got the Chicago cars waiting. So it's actually in great shape by the looks of it here. Not bad. It looks like we got some arrivals that came in again. Once again, I'll say this again. It's been mentioned on the forum, but for those, when you're switching a train out of this yard, it's best to keep it loaded so we just know what's going on. Otherwise, we think it's a bear tail. We don't know what the hell it is. But by rights, they should all be. The load should always be emptied into here. Of course, once you've connected, you don't want to hit the empty all because you got loads at the other end. So you just hit the empty just before you connect. But otherwise, yeah, we do have the empties coming up. It looks like we got some room. This is really encouraging. And there's time. There's just. It looks like enough time was just ran on the clock, so that's perfect. So yeah, we got some loads going out here. I don't know. I honestly don't know how bad the coupling is on these curves here, because that looks like a pretty sharp curve. But in a worst case scenario, I would like to experiment. Maybe if one of you guys in single player want to try it sometime. I want to see how well these couple on these curves. Couple and uncouple, I mean. Because what I'm thinking is, in the case for San Bernardino, you get all these loads here that are coming out. We got a few of them now. So you see all that there. There's where the empties start, right there. And we're almost at the bridge. So we're getting to a point where we're going to have to get it out of the ramp pretty soon, and then it's a matter of finding a spot over here for it, because now we got empties coming in. We got more empties available. So what I would really like to see, I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm way over my time for tonight. I'm just babbling at this point, but I'd like to see if we can actually couple the. And matter of fact, I might go off the server and try it. Maybe I will try. I'll show you what I mean by different experiments and different things that can be done. I'm not going to go into emptying bear tables or anything, but I'm just really curious. We're at 10:38. I really don't care about West Colton. I can take a look. Everything else is. Let me double check one more thing with San Bernardino just to see where we're at. And like I said, this is the normal. There's a cycle, and then I call a cycle of going through all the various sheets and seeing how things are going. I think did we check Daggett? We got one released. Yeah, there's a few trains there, so we're in good shape there. Plenty of stuff available. So let's see where we're at. We're at 6:28 in the morning. We're right at the end of the time for now. Start building 6:51, so we already got instructions going. And that's, that's perfect instructions too. And then we got the does not. So there's, okay, there's the bear table. There's probably an inbound train sitting somewhere. Yeah, hold at CP baseline main 2. There we go. So this is, if you're still not sure what the hell this cycle's all about, this is a perfect example. This train that's at baseline, which it's made it all the way, and I think I've gone over this once before, but I'll explain to why the timing and the cycle and where everything is so important. You see here, that's not the minimum arrival time for that train is 9:45. So it's great that the train made it, and it can just sit on the main line, and it can actually stack up. You can actually have. I won't go to the train, but there it is right there. It's indeed ran all the way as it can. You basically start stacking up trains, because what happens is, in this case, that came out of WSP, so it was a needle sub train. There it is right there. So when you look at what happened on those trains, and I'll give you an idea exactly why these things do happen. You can see the time here is at 3:45 in the morning. So it became available on July 24th at 12 o'clock. It's got a minimum window of 6 hours, even though I suppose it can make it just before it, but it's highly doubtful. But it's got a window of 6 hours. And then when you calculate the cycle of right now of 48 days per 24-hour cycle, you calculate that into play, you have 30 minutes per day. That takes you, for 6 hours, takes you 12 days. So it takes you all the way from July 24th to August 5th. The purpose of that is not to be picky and say, oh, we can't have trains. What the purpose of that is, see, August 5th, 12 o'clock, so that's, right now, that train's going to be sitting there for a week. So it ran right away, which is great, because I can't expect anybody to, and I know a lot of people want to do full runs. Unfortunately, with something like Barstow's, there's plenty of room, so it's something that you'll see trains can get into Barstow. San Bernardino is a totally different animal, because San Bernardino is, at least in this state, is very much limited as far as space, as you can see. This is the yard for both inbounds and outbounds, and we got one track available right now. And even if we did have available tracks, we have to consider what outbound trains are coming. So we can't just release that train in, we hold it off. So if you look at San Bernardino, reason why you can't is because on main 3, okay, so that's that one, start building 651. So we got the empty, that's the empty grain train. Okay, never mind that, that's okay. So we're okay there. I mean, all the other builds, but the thing is, though, as that moves on, see this time right here. So that's at a hold. In between here and then, you've got all these loads that are going to take place. So you're going to get some WSP Zs, or Z and I's for WSP, Alt, in Chicago. So there's going to be more loads that are tagged. So that's where the time available comes into play, because what happens then, and this is why we actually went to a timed yard here. We used to have it just open-ended, and then it was just like, okay, we gotta get structured, because unlike West Colton, this is actually a yard that needs to function very smoothly, just like Barstow does. It has to be a very high-powered functioning yard, especially when tags are going on throughout the session or throughout a cycle, or you got AI and all other goofy things going on. So it's got to be able to function. So that's why right now it is operating like a well-oiled machine. So that train that's sitting there is not a big deal. That's just basically somebody's run a train. They've run it as far as they can possibly run it, which is fine. They've made a full run out of it. Maybe it's a combined run or whatever, but it still has to hold for another week because it hasn't caught up to where the cycle is, which is at 6:28 in the morning right now, which only takes us right into here, which is a 6:35 departure time. So we don't have any more time available right now, but that'll be the next one, and it'll be those empty cars. So I think that's why the engines were where they were at, if I'm not mistaken, because I was wondering why they were there, but now we know why. Because what's happening is he's got the build started. And he's probably at that point probably good to actually get the engines going on that one. Let me just take a quick look at it here. I'll hop onto it. So it's 52 empties. What I'll do is I'll change this right now. Actually, I won't change that. 6:35. Coming up to midnight, so what I'll do, press R, and then as of Saturday, ring 2 ES44 is over. So So that was earlier today. I'm not too sure if Tony's coming back today because I don't want to get in the. So what I did was I just I'll just put. I'll just put the word added in there. Just to put my initials in there, just to know who put that there. The initials are cool because then as administrators we know, or we know who's basically put in. So he had it perfect. He had the move MT, and then there was, if you look at the time, actually if you look, you go further over here, you can see where it is. It's somewhere in here. Oh, does it sit right there? Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, so this was worked, and you can see the time that was put into it, and that's perfect. So it's nice to see new people getting involved in this. Like it's you know, this is a fairly new user, and he's entering it perfectly, getting the time in, and of course he's not doing this part. All he's doing is using the registry, but this is where it tables up so that we know. So that's perfect. What I might do, since we're getting close, I don't want to step on Tony's area though. But let me see here. Let me see if it's really necessary. Because tomorrow there's going to be another 30 minutes at. Actually, it'll be 28 minutes. So he's actually already did this. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead. Okay. So what I'll do. I'm just thinking ahead here. See, I can't really do that unless I tag tonight, and it's not in a position to do it. So you know what? I'm just gonna butt out. There'll be some time that comes available, but I tell you what we got. We got some time here. Let's do that experiment. I'm taking my initials out of there because I don't want to confuse anything, and he's got this set up perfectly right now. What'll happen is, as of midnight, which is only like an hour and 10 minutes away, basically that gives the authority for the yardmaster to, if they want to tag. Now they don't have to tag. They could be like days ahead before they get to tag it, and then of course the available time just builds up. So it was kind of versatile to allow people to tag over a series either daily, to give somebody work daily, or do whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of an experiment here, just to see, and I'll explain this. Then I'll post it to the San Bernardino, my findings. We've got 10 minutes till 11 o'clock, and then I'm going to spend the next hour just relaxing. Well, my pop is warm now. I'm talking too much too, so I want to get this done as quickly as I can. So let me see here. Let me get out of this area. I wish I had some switchers over here, but I don't. That's okay. That's okay. I can build it. I forget what they're called though. I think they're all the same size cars too, aren't they? Or are they? I'm not sure. Maybe they're not. I'll know in a minute. No, they're a little bit bigger. Which is really cool, because if they're bigger, then that means they should be more of an issue with the curvature because of the radius around the curve, if you know what I mean. So let me just... Oh, I'm still onto something here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to relinquish whatever I'm holding on to. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to delete that. Now, no, I'm not deleting it off the server. Watch what I do here. I'm going to spawn. If you ever delete something by accident, then you go into autosaves and just autosave train, right? But what I want to do is I want to drop off the server now. Anybody on the network? Everybody's not running anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and bail out. Alright, so now I'm all here. I'm gonna bring that train back in. I'm off the network now, so it's just everything empties as soon as you drop off the network. So I want to go ahead and spawn. Autosave train. Perfect. Now here's where it gets interesting, okay? You know the message that you get where you can't spawn something because the track is full. And this is more for an admin type thing and future consideration for this yard in particular. So what I want to do in this case here, I want to go ahead and get some engines going here. Is there any engines that I haven't seen? I know we got our con rails. I don't have Denver Rio Grande. Yeah, who cares? Let's just go with, well, there's a lot of SD stuff too. It don't matter. Let's just go with, I don't care about reversing either. Just spawn it. Alright. So I'm not on the ground, it says, so I'm on the ground now. It says track not clear. So that's okay. So I'm just going to go up. I'm not going to go to the curve yet, but I'm just going to go right here just to see. It's still not clear. Okay. Well, now I'll go to the curve. And I'll go right here. That should definitely be a different track section. Bingo. See what I mean? Now, a track section does not necessarily always mean... first of all, let me qualify this one. Track section, you're thinking, if you think of say a model railroad, you're thinking, okay, there's your curved piece, there's your straight piece, and your straight piece is all the way down here. That doesn't work that way in Run 8. Yes, the curved piece is the start of a new piece, but there is a bunch of sections in here. Some of them are very long, other ones are short. So there is areas where you may find different track sections all over the place, and you could take advantage of those for converting. And when I mean converting, this is again not an admin function. Actually, it's a yardmaster function, and that is converting into bare tables. Normally, we don't bother. Now, of course, the yard is all empty here because we don't see anything. Normally, we don't convert right away to empties, and the reason why we don't bother converting right away because they're just going to go back out as loads again. Majority of them, not all of them. We end up sometimes getting too many bare tables, and then there's other times in the cycle where we don't have enough, where bare tables come in to replenish. And that works pretty good with the logistics. We have that set up pretty good right now, so I did a lot of work. In fact, I'll show you real quick here. If I go into San Bernardino Logistics, you can see I've worked on the various lengths, the times they would show up, what days of the week, how much total length we have. I did the TD3 and that and blah blah blah, and you know, worked it out pretty good. So let's run a little bit of an experiment here, and then we'll call it the night. This, oh wow, it's 10:57. Okay. So I'm not worried about operations here or anything like this. I'm just what I'm doing here is seeing how bad this curve really is for coupling and uncoupling. This can be an issue with running. What happens is you get, I think it's been improved. I don't know if it's been totally eliminated, but I think it has been improved. See, for all I know, that could be a different track section. I think that's a territory boundary or something, or whatever the heck you call those things. Grid piece, I don't know what you call it. So again, this is experimenting. I'm not on the server. I'm just going ahead, and I don't care how fast I go. Dump the air, whatever. Probably got a lot of cars. I'm not too worried about the other side. This is the side I'm concerned about more. So I'm going to line myself up and out. Yeah, I'll put a restricting signal on here. Where are we here? Not that I could care less about signals right now, but there's what I'm restricting, a little double lunar thingy. I want to test before I get too carried away, I want to test this side of the curve here. Oh wow. You see what I mean? There's like, man. Let me try it here. Now let's see if it couples up. I'll be very happy if it does, but... Okay, that's good. So past number 1. Maybe I'll try here. I'm trying to figure out where the sharp is. It looks like it's the same radius all the way around, so let's try here. I don't know if it remembers where exactly the coupler was, and I'm cheating. Ooh, this is encouraging. Very encouraging. So what I'm going to do, I'll try one more over here, because this is where I originally wanted to put it. I just wanted to get a car at least up to here where it starts to straighten out, which I think it will here. through that one time. Okay, so far so good. I want to do one more test. Sometimes trains remember their memory. Not to say that this is going to exactly erase the memory or reestablish it, but what I just did there, I just dumped the air. That's what I just did there. I don't care about the air now. Let's go. Just want to make sure it couples. Awesome. I don't care about the hard couple or anything. I just want to make sure it couples. So what I'm going to do is I am going to post a picture over here. This is another thing you could do on the Wikia, by the way. So in this case, Control Tab if you want to get rid of your chat. Just remember you need to actually Control Tab to see it again or start a chat. So I'll get rid of the Shift Z. So, and I want to put some lights on. I don't care. People can see that, right? F8 for your screenshot. And now that I got a screenshot, I can get out of there. So here's what you do. Because let's see here. I'll get out of there, and then after this, I'm going to end it tonight. So I'm in the San Bernardino section. No, I'm in the Victorville. Let me go over to San Bernardino. Okay. So we're in July 29th. So this is perfect. Perfect instruct. I didn't see that. Extra time to clear the main. Yep, that's perfectly fine to have the extra time to clear the main. That was 16 hours ago. Yard looks great. I ran an experiment tonight at the end of my live stream, which I'm just finishing up now. What I wanted to do is make sure that the curves on the east side of the A yard, of the ramps of A yard, were able to couple or uncouple, and it worked like a charm. For those not aware, Run8 used to have issues and may still have some coupling on curves. In the end of the video, I went off the server and spawned a test train with the cars already in play. Here is what it looked like. Just to see, and what I mean by here is what it looked like. What I can do now is I can add a photo. You want to go into here and no file chosen, so you want to choose your file, which probably takes forever. I don't know why it's taken forever, to be honest. What's it doing? Holy crap. So you want to go into roots for now, because I don't have the Run8 Train Simulator folder. Okay. There you want to play around with the date, I guess, until you get the one you want, which I believe is that one. Is today? Yeah, that's the one right there. So you upload that. This is how you upload a picture to the Wikia or whatever you want to do. Alright. And then add the photo. Dang that thing, modify that. That looks too... I want the thumbnail bigger. Alright. Basically, the idea with this is once the loads are starting to mount up on some of the ramp tracks like this one, and real estate is hard to come by in a yard, as you probably know. But the yard looks great right now. In order to allow... Okay, hang on. Now, I'm this is about as fast as I can type, guys. I'm a pretty fast typer, so I know this is slowing up. You can... By the way, if I ever sound slow on here and you want to hear me sound like a chipmunk and it's on YouTube, just hit the 2 times thing. I won't be offended if you speed through all this to save yourself some time, because I like to do that on YouTube myself. So especially if it's all long and drawn out. And okay, so yeah, what was I saying? Come by in the AR, you probably know, but the yard looks great right now. Starting to mount up. So the experiment basically tested to make sure that we could couple here, and we can, according to my test results. What we can do then is, instead of loading the yard back up, is just outside of the ramp, we can pull loads like this further east down the ladder to give more room for the empties to get out of a yard. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll show you what I mean in the video. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll end the live stream video tonight explaining this better than the post. I think. Hopefully. Okay. So that's how you post a picture on there. So you can see, you can go in there and then you can take a look at the picture log, and basically it gives you an idea of where we are. Now, of course, the live stream, and then this gets onto YouTube, and I already got out of it. Dang it. Okay, that's alright. Dang, I want to end this, because I want to do a few things. I gotta get ready for tomorrow. And I still want to have a drink, I think. I don't want to sleep in tomorrow, that's for sure. Okay. So I'll be really quick with this. And then I'm going to end it. I promise. I've overdone my stay. But at least I accomplished that. That was the main thing. And no, I didn't get the tagging with Bakersfield and all that stuff. I'll leave that to the guys. They seem like they're going to be doing that. So yeah, as you can see, the light's falling, which is okay. That don't matter. Yeah, so I want to go over to... Yeah, I'll go this side and over here. So, anyways. this will all load up. The lights are on here. The lights are on, but nobody's home. So here we go. It's going to start loading up the yard. Perfect. What yard am I in? I'm in the wrong yard. Wrong yard. I saw the bare tables there, and I thought, wait a minute. So, yeah, we got auto racks. No, we see, here we go. Here's an example. So once time starts coming back onto the San Bernardino, like say for example tomorrow, or actually at midnight tonight, but then you're going to have to wait for instructions. If you don't have instructions, generally you should be waiting for instructions, or at least getting the yardmaster's approval, even though you get available time. You don't want to waste it. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, I guess that's fine. But I think you need authority anyways, if I understand my own procedures properly. So what'll happen is that will switch over to 28 minutes available time, and the cycle time will be at 6:30 by the time midnight comes around. And I'm not changing any of this because I'm ending this in a few minutes. I'm not going to wait till midnight. I could have tagged the others and given you an example, but instead what I'll do is I'll show you really quickly what I'm thinking. Tomorrow, for example, we've got, and Tony's been right on. I don't know if he'll be there tomorrow or not. I'll be leaving first thing in the morning, so perhaps I should have done it tonight. I don't know, but hopefully Tony or even Mike, if they're around tomorrow, or whoever, Yardmaster, whoever has Yardmaster, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's if Tony's been handling it for the most part, but I don't know what his schedule's like. He could be coming on in about 10 minutes for all I know. His schedule's varied. Mike, I kind of know. I was surprised to see him tonight, but then again, I'm usually not around on a Friday. So what block of time we're looking at right now is this one. So what I can tell you right now is going to happen is, because that's a 6:35 departure, that'll go to 28 minutes. Those engines that are sitting with the empties can then come down. Not with the empties. The empties would actually stay in B yard, I think, or they could be transferred to A, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. You have the option. I mean, yeah, there's B yard there, and they can leave via B yard. They got a signal. So it's probably better that they depart from B yard, but again, you got no power, so you're going to need two ES44s. That needs to be brought down. Again, Hostling, we don't really call that, so once a build goes up, but the yard power would have to come down. So the first thing, the yard power would come down here, and by then, hopefully, there'll be some tags available down here. So there'll be more loads that are going to get tagged up over on this end here. Let me just show you what I mean. So on this side of the bridge, you're gonna start seeing more loads. Hey, the mic's back. I'm still here. I can't leave. Mike's back. He's already had a good night's sleep and he's back. No. So yeah, over here, just made a post on San Bernardino. So, oh, fine, he left. Bye-bye. But, he's like, you're still here? Get off my server. I'm leaving soon, I promise. So, yeah, a lot of these will start getting loaded up with more loads. There's your last load right there, as I was saying. But once you get up to here, these cranes can't get it. So by rights, I mean, yeah, those cranes could, but we're kind of making that side as an emptying area and this side as a loading area, per se. But once you get outside of here and you get into the curve, you're out of the area where the cranes could in theory, go. I suppose they can go all the way over here. I don't know how far they can go, to be honest. But basically, what I'm thinking is, at least this track could be pulled all the way down here to make room for whatever we got that needs to get to the ramp to unload, like that big string of suckers there. There's probably mixed up with a bunch. Likewise, I don't think this one can do it. No, these are all empties. There's a couple alts there. You really can't do much with that. So though that track there would probably, you're not going to get much more into that. Chicago, WSP, those you can probably pull forward a bit. Of course, you can only pull so many because then you get out of here, so, and then you can only go so far. So you really can't squeeze too much more out of this. You might get 8 cars out of there. Here you can't really do much of anything anyways, because you need to make sure that this can access the ramp. I suppose it could go here, but you really don't want to get into loading cars over on this side, because then, you know, you're outside of the ramp. So I'm only thinking it's this track right here that can move the most and benefit from it. So you're looking at probably freeing up at least 20. And then, you know, from there, if well, really it's not too bad, because there's the end of the trailers there. In the worst case scenario, you know, if it gets to the point where there's too many, I don't know how many trailers we got in here. We got containers for a while. I'm just trying to estimate here. Okay, here's where the trailers start there. Or no, they don't. That's JB Hunt. There they are. So it's not too many. I mean, they go down all the way down to here. So yeah, there's a fair amount still. But of course, I mean, it seems like there's a rush because it's an intermodal facility, but then when you take a look at how much time you really have, there's plenty of time. And then you look at the cutoffs and what's being set to go out next. The next intermodal train that's headed out, that doesn't run today. What do we got here? Yeah, so he's putting comments in there, which is awesome. Vehicle train for 1610s on 671, so it's perfect. There's got to be, where's the next train that's set to come out here? First GM. I'm confused. There's got to be. There's got to be. That doesn't run today? Whoa. That doesn't run today? Holy crap. Oh my god. This is gonna get interesting, guys. There it is. So, I'm looking at this and I gotta call this at night pretty soon. Jeez. So the next intermodal outbound, I'm not talking about vehicle trains or bare table trains, but the next intermodal outbound train doesn't leave until 14:15, which is about 8 hours or so approximately away. I don't know, that's an inbound. Wait up, what the hell am I doing? I need some sleep or something. Vehicle train, bare table train, that doesn't run today. That doesn't run. Holy crap. Is this the day that San Bernardino gets some time off or something? Or at least outbound crews? That doesn't run. We're all the way, we're at least 12 hours away from the next outbound train. That is unbelievable. Well, I mean, this is new for me, so... What do we got here? I'm looking at frequency. Yeah, there's your cutoff right there, 1600, so it's... next one is at 1810. Cut off at 1600. Mondays are a slow outbound day. I thought the Tuesdays were the slow day. Hang on a second here. What's up? Cool. Just trying to figure out SBD a bit more. Next intermodal outbound is 12 hours away. Cycle time. I gotta check something really quick. Since I'm gonna be talking to Mike anyway, I gotta get a drink too. Jeez. Soda, cola. Not. I already had some beer today. I hadn't had beer all year. Yeah, there's the Except Monday. Bare tables. It's like a bare table day in empties. Bare table. Well, that schedule's right. That is crazy. That's 24 real days. Yep. At least I found out we can... So yeah, so the dilemma, if you call it that, it might not be that bad of a dilemma here. I gotta take a look here. Go back one more time. I gotta get a drink first. Did I say be right back already? Yeah, I did. So I'm gonna shut up now. Go get a drink and I'll be right back. And then I'll try to explain the dilemma we got. So yeah, this is going to become a very interesting yard. A lot of this is brand new, or fairly new. It's only been around for about a cycle. I've been saying I was going to end this stream about... I don't know what time I did, but I don't know how much bandwidth I've been using lately. I haven't been checking. Keep doing live streams all the time. So yeah, I'm just gonna look at see what's expected to come in. We know we got one intermodal train who we have to clear track out for. We already got bare table traffic. We might even have too many cars in the yard right now, which is possible. So it sounds as if that there's going to be more bare table traffic. Don't think we need more cars. Yeah, we'll see about that. Oh, that's going... Oh, that's coming in. We'll see. The answer I say right now, no. I don't know. What I need to do with the logistics is I need to have an average car count for all these particular cars, where we're supposed to be at certain times and certain days. Ah. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think so too. For sure. So, yeah, so we got that inbound, which isn't too bad actually. We don't have much coming in, but then see, then we got another train coming in. Grain's fine. Grain in the vehicle, that's going to be the other yard. Yeah. Holy crap, we got two intermodal trains coming, one at 1415 and one 1600. I may really have to start looking at the logistics. I'll take a look again and see where we're really at, because I don't think, yeah, we got okay, there's your outbound right there. And I don't know how huge that's going to be or what it's going to be able to do. But that's where the build's going to have to go. The problem is you're having builds coming from all kinds of different locations. I don't know how prototypical that is. I know cutoff times are prototypical, but I'm not sure, because that takes us all the way down to that red line right there is your cutoff. So that's the end of WSP right there. I think we're okay. As far as I know, that should give it an average train, but look at all these other loads that are coming. We got 17 coming in one day for Chicago, and that's because we have a cutoff at midnight for him, the cutoff at 5:30 in the morning for him. So there you can see the cutoff lines are right up there. So there's loads coming in. It's just we may have too many. They got a little screwed up last cycle, and we're still getting used to it. So I'm just going to show you the logistics and try to explain where we're at, and I'll try to remember this. Yikes. Do I have calculations in here, or do I? Okay. Total, I don't even know what total W is. I4 times 6. How do I have 6? Oh, I see. Okay, so what we're looking at right now, here's where we're supposed to be. The problem is I think I've got all the lengths combined of every single type of potential car. I think. Or do I? No, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. That's your Zeds and your Bear tables. So there's where your length. Yeah, that doesn't make sense because that's minus 60,000. What the heck? Oh, that's for the week. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay. I probably am gonna have to. This did work out. I know it looks complicated, but what that did work out to is to make sure that I made the proper adjustments for the totals, and I had some formulas down here. I'm gonna have to work on this some more, just to give us a real rough estimate as to how many cars we should have. In theory, maybe I have to even consider power logistics, because I know in Barstow that is a bit of an issue too, but when you look at how much power we have, do we really need all that much power? Especially when we got inbounds coming in, we don't. I mean, it's just. I mean, we've been getting power out of here like crazy. Maybe we're not putting enough power on the trains. Maybe we need 6 HPT or 7 HPT. I really don't know at this point. But the yard's in good shape. I mean, it's actually in really good shape right now. It's just we're going to be dealing with capacity issues. I'm thinking, how many bare tables do we got going out? We may need to really max them out here. One last thing, and then I'm gonna call it the night. I promise. I'm gonna call it the night. I just want to see what the bare tables look like and where they're going. It's important to know where they're going too, because they have to fit into the sidings. This sucker can be as... So that's between CP San Bernardino and CP Rana on Main 3. It's due out at 7:15. Where is it? I saw it. Is it over here? I don't know if there's a maximum number of empties you can take on a bare table. It's only 2976 tons, but we're already at 93 cars. I'm thinking we might need to do more, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But that's the train to do it. Because the next one... where is it? I thought we had another one. Oh, it's an Ono. Okay. And that's not till 9:05. And I imagine Ono's pretty full right now. Get down there. I imagine it's full. Or close to. My God, that's just like, that's just crazy. So there's that inbound train. Trying to, there's all these cars are coming in as of 9 o'clock or 9:30 or whatever it is. Holy crap, that's a big train. It's probably a 10,000 footer. Okay, here's Ono. I think the whole siding's full. Oh my. Oh, it'll probably get. I imagine it might get added to. Yeah. Wow. There's just no way. Oh. Poor guys. Poor Mike. Poor Tony. So yeah, I gotta figure out something with that. So we already got some bare tables there. I don't know how far we can go with these trains. If we can go further, then, I mean, he's already at the CP. I doubt it. I don't think he'd want him more than 93 cars, but I suppose you could. I mean, what do we got for a length? Yeah, it's getting up there. I would say it's possible. I mean, you can certainly go through the control point. There's a grade cross. No, you can't. Jeez. Can't go through that one. Because then you're dealing with the auto, and I'm not too sure how far. Well, you might have time. When's the next auto train? And do one more look. When's the next auto train? We got oh, I'm looking at the wrong side of what's going on here. No, we're fine to do that. So I'm just going to post one more reply really quick. And yeah, I think we have too many cars and engines in San Bernardino. the next outbound intermodal train is not until 12 cycle hours from now. I'll try and do a logistics sweep sometime next week. Try and get a good feel as to how many cars and engines we should have at any given time on average. Okay. So, and this is, like I said, this is all learning and communication, and this is, I mean, I was able to post a picture, I got the YouTube going, so, okay, I think I'll call it now. So anyways, yeah, as I was saying, this is just basically a learning curve. There's nothing more than that really at this point. We add different procedures, or new industries come online, whether it be Run8 create something. All the stuff that coming in from LA, that's going to have to be added in eventually. So yeah, it's learning curves, but because when you run so many long cycles, it sometimes takes about a month before you realize, oh, we might have to make an adjustment. So, no. Okay. Okay. I'll end the live stream now. Get some rest. I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I like playing trains all day. Leave me alone. Yeah, I know. Only 6 hours. Okay, have a good one. Alright, so I gotta get off the server now. Before I get... I just wanted to finish up that thought real quick here. 11:10, 9, 8:40. Hopefully I'm not over the 3-hour mark, or else that doesn't work too well with the thing. So yeah, yeah, this sheet was, like I said, this is a fairly new sheet. We tried to get through it, but it's a sharp looking sheet at least. It looks complicated, it looks scary, but it's kind of straightforward to follow, and hopefully a little bit more easy to follow than Barstow, because there's a lot of interaction going on here, but not as much. Most of it is tagging and stuff like that. So, but right away we could tell, and this is the first time we've come around to cycle day 2, which all of a sudden we realize, like, wait a minute, we don't have any outbounds, and that's just the way the schedule is. And for whatever reason, they're not scheduling outbounds on the Monday. So we're seeing that now, and instead they're getting rid of some of their empty stuff. So yeah, it's a learning experience, and it's better to get through the idea, like, well, it's nice and slow. We don't want it too slow, but slow enough where the cycle progresses at a rate where we can make some adjustments, or take on new suggestions, or do the experiment like we did tonight, just to make sure that we can move cars. San Bernardino, just to say, San Bernardino, as I've said before, I don't think, I think there's more room in San Bernardino than is what's showing in Run8. I'm not saying that the tracks or the main lines aren't right, they probably are. But what's What I do know is there's a Y. I know there's another line that's supposed to attach to it. I mean, they can only go so far and build so much, and plus they're dealing with memory constraints. So I understand why. I totally get it. Barstow is another thing. Barstow hump is actually huge. I think there's about 100 tracks. But I mean, there's no way you would be able to pull off a yard like this in Microsoft Train Simulator and have it not drop frames like massively or even lock up on you. I remember some days doing that, just trying to switch with all the different card types, just trying to switch a yard, a 10-track yard manually was nuts. So I mean, I appreciate what I got by far. So I can handle a little bit of undercapacity, and then we can figure it out. So if the operations are over capacity for it and it just isn't enough, then we got to figure that out. So I could go on to YouTube, I can go on to Google Maps and take a look what it looks like, but I'm not going to bother doing that tonight. Actually, I am going to go on to Google Maps, but it's going to be for some additional planning for my trip before I go to bed tonight. So anyways, I'm going to end it there, and that's pretty much all for tonight. Nothing else more I can say, and head on my trip tomorrow to Fostoria. So I'll be back around Tuesday. Don't think I'll be doing a live stream then. Maybe later in the week. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. But I think it's just gonna be standard running a Barstow tomorrow, maybe, or standard running a Barstow on Tuesday, and that's about it. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed. You can like, share, do whatever else. Oh yeah, we're almost right at the 3-hour mark, so I gotta stop it. So another 3-hour tour. Anyways, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.